Hi, this is Aude, your INFJ lawyer, and welcome back on my channel. Today, we're going to talk about manifesting frequency and toxic relationship. Because in this video, I will explain how your manifesting frequency may result in attracting relationships. Actually, I would like to answer a few comments I received in my former video, which was also about toxic relationship. And I think that underlying these comments was something that needs to be explained, and it's the difference between toxic, unhealthy and difficult relationship and full-blown narcissistic interaction, and which behavior is the most appropriate in each case. I hear people overusing the word narcissist to qualify any interaction presenting difficulties, but here's the thing. If you label every difficult person as a narcissist, well, first you will stay stuck in the same scenario of the powerless victim and keep repeating an unhealthy pattern, because you can't solve a problem when you blame it on outside circumstances, i.e. in this case on the character or the temper of the people. And second, you won't know how to deal with a true narcissist when you meet one, and you risk to totally lose yourself and experience emotionally very damaging situations that will leave you beaten and broken. What I would like to do in this video is to talk about this very important distinction from your point of view. I am not going to list the traits of a narcissist, also that can be useful, and you can find this information all over the internet. But what I find really important to do first is to build up your strengths, to start from within, so you learn to regain control by raising your general vibration, improving your point of attraction. Before we dive in, please subscribe to that channel. Press the bell so that you receive a notification every time a new video comes out. I gave to this video the title Matching Frequencies and Toxic Relationship. Why? Because we all function on a given vibration. I suppose you've all heard about she or he has a good or bad vibe. The first improvement to move away from bad attraction, toxic relationship, is releasing the part of you that brings back a similar match. Okay, let me explain what I mean by that, and bear with me a little bit and you will understand where I want to get you. So please stay with me on this path. Your entire reality is founded on your beliefs, your trauma, your patterns, your life experience, and how you were conditioned as a child. And this is of course unique for each of us. So every morning, the world you stepped into is not the same as your neighbors, is not the same as your brother, is not even the same as your partner. Your days and your life will take a different outlook, because once again they're shaped according to different beliefs and therefore envisioned through a distinct narrative, which is basically the narrative that has been built and developed over the years. So if you take the simple example of two people witnessing the same event, they will often have a completely different account of what happened. So the version of us you are living will very much determine your life experience. Okay, now, anytime you hold on to the idea of what you were hoping will happen, you're not really being present with what is happening. But actually what you're doing is you're clinging onto your version of Earth, unwilling to recognize or even entertain that the other person might have a different one. So here I'm talking about you, dear one. I'm talking about how you feel and how you want the circumstances of your life correspond to this narrative you've built over the year. It takes a little bit of time to be aware of that, but it is really important. Let me give you another example. If you are in a toxic relationship or fell out of love, but you don't really know you are in a toxic relationship, you can feel that some things are a myth, that it's not ideal. But what you're doing, and this you may eventually recognize, you keep convincing yourself that the other person will change. For example, start being more available or being a better communicator. You are not, again, present with the now story, but functioning according to your own delusional narrative, driven by your own lack of fears, for if being lonely, lack of money, because you can cling to a situation because it gives you security. But by doing so, what is important is to recognize that you're keeping alive within you a frequency that is disharmonious. You are resisting the reality by keeping on feeding on your hopes. And sometimes these hopes and wishes do not even truly correspond to who you are deeply, but they are more acquired templates that you have adopted to fit in. Every time you are resisting the reality, wanting for another outcome, you are actually investing on potential. Do invest on your own potential, but do not invest on others' potential. And when you do your due diligence, just reconnect with yourself. So to help you do that, I have 2 former videos that talk about the subject. There is one, how to overcome reacting, which is more addressed for co-dependent, but the techniques that are explained in this video can very much be used by anybody. And I have another one called Reconnecting to Yourself, and get a little bit more technique. What concrete little action you can start doing on an everyday basis so you retune your story. Remove toxicity from your life is about rearranging the energy within your own vibrational structure. This implies that you become present with the now moment and assess the facts for what they are. So it's about coming back to how you feel when you are with a person or in a situation. Why do you think you're not deserving something better now? Is it because you're afraid you won't find another job, you won't find another person, you will be lonely? The power of story is very important, and we all function according to our own story, which is shaped according to our trauma, emotions, life experience, programming, conditioning, and so on and so forth. So that narrative that form your perception and eventually shape your life experience, it may keep and entertain a dissonant vibration within your field, and that sends the wrong signal and prevents the universe from sending new opportunities to it. I would say the only way, maybe not the only way, but one very fundamental way to rewrite your story is to face your shadow. Now, it's exactly like in history. Some country, some organization, they don't want to own what happened. They deny. We often say that the history is written by the victors, which is true, but it has a downfall. Every time you show a past, an aspect of your story that is beneficial to you, that makes you appear great, and leaving something on the side, you subconsciously accept that something is shameful through what you've been living. And this is where lies the seeds of your weakness. So going back to your past trauma, to what bothers you and make you uncomfortable, the shame, the guilt, sitting through it and making amends for it, looking at it for what it is. And maybe it's not so dramatic, it can be explained by circumstances. Have a benevolent and mature outlook on it. Everything you deny and do not fully take responsibility for will stay as an open wound that can be reactivated anytime, and it will own you. So you better own every aspect of your story, including your shadow. That's why Jung was calling the shadow work, which is also at the very base of a lot of Jordan Peterson's work. I think that facing the shadow, which a lot of people are not capable of doing, is a huge part of every individual growth. It does require some humility, and it can take you to difficult places at times, and surely you can require help. but this is the only way to get really free from, you know, your demons, and as the Bible say, the truth will set you free. It's about all starting identifying what motivates your actions and change your perception around it. For example, I am staying in this job I hate because I won't find any other job, and I'm afraid I won't have any money and not being able to pay my bills, and it goes round and round again. Why don't you change the narrative around that? Start taking actions, looking for another job, while you appreciate how strong you have become to put up with difficult colleagues and navigate a complicated work environment, and why your environment has brought you to that. What are the lessons you're getting out of it? And it makes you the hero of your story. It's a completely different vibe. So I will finish here today the part 1 of this video, matching frequencies and toxic relationship. In my next video, we will see a little bit further in depth with examples how to face your shadow and how to rewrite the narratives. And also we will finish this very important distinction between toxic relationships and narcissistic interactions, and which behavior to adopt for each case. Please do leave a comment, especially if you want me to add on a second part of this video. Do not hesitate to ask me questions and share your experience. It always helps our little community. And to expand this community, please do subscribe to this channel, press the bell to receive notification. Thank you very much, and I see you very soon. Bye.